Here I am making. All right, sort this out. Anybody? Oh, okay, I can see it happening here now. Nice, there we go. Okay, we got people that can hear me now, which is nice. That's probably why nobody cared enough to stay at the last one. All right, well then, welcome to the day after my birthday. So I'm old, and decided it's been centuries since I've done any kind of a stream. So I figured, why not? You know, it's like something that I used to like doing, and I just haven't really had much of a chance to do in a long time. So, hey, we got some people I recognize in here now. Now it's a party. That's right. Get your PBR if you're old enough. I just had a birthday yesterday. Got some fun things. Did a few fun things, which is always a huge plus. Let's see. I found this guy at Big Lots. This here AJ Styles. Right on. Yeah. I don't know what Elite series this is. I have a hard time telling, just like remembering what waves things are, like as far as what number, like series this would have been from. But it's the one with like the hood that you can put on his head, which is here. I don't really care for how that looks though. I think it's kind of, it looks better with the hood down. I got this guy here. That's right, Rebel Tech Wolverine. I know a bunch of people have seen this figure appear in photography and pretty much all over the internet. I've been messing with him. He's fun. I like it. Somebody's birthday, El Jaracalo Studios. His birthday's Monday. Hell yeah, buddy. Have a good one. Happy belated. Happy birthday. Well, thank you. Gojira Wars 03 with the first Godzilla question of the night. Appropriate name. Will there be a sequel to Aftermath? The short answer is yes. I don't know when, though. I would like to do that because I like Aftermath and I like Godzilla. And it's just a lot of fun. It's one of the things that I've had the most fun animating on my channel. I see Punker Mike in there who said, oi oi. I enjoyed your latest animation. I want to see more, as you heard on Instagram. I can't wait to see what you're coming up with. Doing some good stuff, I hope. I'm always happy to see new animators, or well, not. I know you've had some history with it, but yeah, it's cool to see you making a comeback with some stop motion. I can't wait. Elite numbers, I don't give a shit to be honest. Yeah, same thing. If I see it in the store, Josh, I grab it. If not, then it's whatever. I'll see it online maybe, hopefully. What Pokemon TCG deck do you run? Okay, I got a couple. Lately, I don't want to give too much away in case my main adversary is watching, but I did some work on a fire deck today. I have a fighting type deck, but it's not right where I want it. I have a dark deck that's pretty good. I have this metal deck that I threw together when I first started playing again, and I don't even know why it worked, but it did. And besides that, you know, just play for fun. Like, I'm constantly making new decks. I'm not trying to, like, perfect one. I'm just, you know, we're just messing around. We don't play standard, so, like, we can just throw whatever we want into a deck and just see how it plays out. Wrestling Chaos just uploaded a stop motion yesterday. All right. Did I pre-order Shao Kahn by Storm? Not yet. I did not yet, but I would like to. And I'm for sure going to. 2K18, WWE 2K18. It's not on my immediate things to do list because I don't play very many video games anymore. I'm busy. Like, it's not like I don't like video games. I just don't have much time to play them. So 2K18 is going to take up a lot of my free time, which I don't unfortunately have a ton of free time. And when I do get free time, I like to do stuff for my YouTube and my videos and that kind of thing. So probably not going to get the video game. You're on the Alolan... Oh, the Alolan Ninetales deck? Okay. Yeah, I've seen that in the store. I wanted to get that, actually, because some of the trainers in there are really good. Let's see. The Kurt Angle Elite, Xander Oxford. Yes. Yeah. Come on, man. That's an awesome-looking figure. I like that they went, like, real throwback with it, too. Like, the first appearance of Kurt Angle, I think it was, like, Survivor Series 99 or whatever it was, where he's got the blue with, like, almost like the Captain America, like, white and red stripe thing across his, like, midsection. That figure looks great. I can't wait for that. And I know there's going to be other Elites, too. And Angle has had so many different awesome singlets and, like, all the cool-looking gear he's worn over the years. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to be into many of them. As many of them as I can. I know somebody said something else about Godzilla. Oh, it's the same guy from before. Aftermath is One of my favorite Godzilla stop motions of all time. I inspired you to do your own. Cool, man. I can't wait to see. I get a kick out of other people's animation too. So like if somebody sends me something, I usually try and make sure I check it out. And I'm glad that I could, I don't know, spark a creative interest in that kind of thing. How high of a priority is X-Men Brotherhood episode 4 at the moment? I do have most of the episode written, but again, it's all down to time and free time that I just don't unfortunately have as much of as I would like. But I do want to continue it, and in my brain, in an ideal world, I have episodes 4 and 5, and then the series is finally like concluded, or season 1 if I'm really getting crazy. But I don't like to think too far ahead because I mean it's taking me this long to make 3 episodes, and then you know I haven't really picked it up in a while. But it left off on kind of a cool cliffhanger at the end of the last episode, so I really want to pick up on it and kind of just you know really spearhead it towards the end there. You hear they're making a Milk Mania set with Kurt and Stephanie. I didn't hear that, but that'd be cool. I mean, any Kurt Angle figure that they make, I'll definitely consider. Naruto is becoming popular again. Did I ever watch it? If I did I like? I never watched it. My roommate, I think he still is a big fan, and I had some other friends that watched it, but it was one of those things that I never really got into while it was, I guess, more mainstream. That's like Dragon Ball Z too. Like, I didn't watch Dragon Ball Z till I was 30 years old, and that's like long after it stopped being like on TV regularly and all that. I just decided one day I'm like, I've heard enough about this. Let's see what it's all about. Let me check it out. So, I mean, I don't have anything against Naruto. I'm just not gonna watch it like regularly. Like I guess as it comes out. Is it still coming out, or is it like just a resurgence in popularity because like a video game is out or something? Like I don't know. Let me know. Naruto figures are A1. Oh, that's the figure arts, right? I've seen those and those do look good. I don't know what I'm looking at, what the characters are, but I do like the figures. I want to try to do stop motion animation, but I can't make my figures stand without the stand. Yeah, well, sometimes you just can't. I mean, if you can work around it, if you can edit the stand out, or if you can, I don't know, have it so that the stand is out of your shot, you might not have to worry so much. I mean, there's a lot of different ways that people gimmick their figures to be able to stand up and do all that kind of stuff. So, you know, try a couple different things, see what works for you. Let's see. Do you think it's good that they're doing interchangeable heads with the Elite figures now? I didn't know they were, but I'm all for that. You know, as soon as I saw that the basic figures were like getting cut back in their animation and all that, or animation, all the articulation and all that, I'm just like, I hope that that's so they can put more of a budget into the Elite figures, because I'd much rather have a really good Elite figure than a decent Elite figure and like a decent basic figure, just because I don't collect the basic figures, so I don't have much use like for articulation on a basic figure because it's a little too limited for me. So if I can get an Elite that's much better, yeah, you know what, feed the budget into that, and thank you, Mattel. Rappers made it popular again? All right. I mean, I don't think that's the first time that's even happened. What do I think about Hell in the Cell? Was that recently, right? I know Shane McMahon jumped off of something, and that's all I know. I didn't watch, if that's the pay-per-view, I didn't watch it. I did watch Raw, though, after it, and I'm just like, oh, okay. They finally found a way to get people to cheer for Roman Reigns again. Figures, right? I mean, that's how you're going to do it. But, yeah, Raw was pretty cool. I'm trying to think what else even happened, because I don't watch enough regularly to follow like the storylines and anything that's going on right now. But I just know as soon as I turned it on, it was the Shield beating up Braun Strowman and throwing him through a table. I'm like, cool, yeah, all right, I'm in. What Elite am I most excited? What's up, Freddie? What Elite am I most excited for now? Angle is really high up on that list. The Jericho with the 2 belts and the long hair, that one looks really good. Matter of fact, I'm really excited about that one. I don't know, what else is even coming out? I got most of the ones that I want from previous series, so I don't know what else they even got, like, as far as, like, what's coming soon. I'm a flashback guy, so, like, that's pretty much what I pay attention to. Burnout Inc. What's going on, man? Sorry about the tonsils, dude. Rough. Let's see. Let's see. Sami Zayn turned heel. Oh, that was Hell in the Cell, right? Like he pulled Owens off of the table. Okay, so I didn't know he wasn't heel to begin with. So that's all. It's cool. Surprise. Roman Reigns still suck with and without the Shield. See, I still liked him with or without the Shield. So I mean, to me, he doesn't. He's not any better or worse than he was, but it's fine. Happy birthday! Yes, thank you, sir. Feeling old. I was definitely battling with this technology, trying to get it to come together and work for me today, and I'm just like, how? Yeah, well, YouTube's a mess, as you know, so I'm not gonna get into that whole thing. But George talked about 2K18 already. I'm not probably gonna mess with it too much just because of the lack of free time, and nah, probably not. Not for me yet. Well, let's see. That one punk. Why do you always see Burnout Inc. in his chat or in this chat and follow him on Instagram, but you never see his content? That's either a YouTube flaw or it's maybe your notification settings. I don't know. I mean, I'm not putting it past YouTube to have messed up on something, honestly, because I get sorry. No cameos that I'm aware of except for Hellhammer right there, who just tried to attack something under the desk and now everything fell over. But well, let's see. YouTube is broken. People don't see my uploads. It's whatever. Yeah, I've been getting hit with the notices of... And now she's scratching the carpet. The notices about, what is it, not advertiser friendly for all advertisers or whatever. And I'm just like, this would really suck if I was making like all of my income on YouTube. But, as a matter of fact, I know some people who are dealing with that. And it's like, now they're going to have to cut corners and figure out how they're going to make like budgetary things work for them. And so I'm like, you know, I'm going to just still make my videos. If I can make money on them, great. If not, it sucks. But, oh well, you know, I have a job to make money somewhere else. So I'm not too worried about YouTube. It's mostly just a creative thing for me. But it sucks, you know, when you've been able to count on views getting you some kind of monetary, I don't know, just like anything really. And then they come around, they change the whole algorithm around, and it's just like, actually, no, now you get nothing for all of these videos that you made already, and going forward, we're going to be really strictly monitoring you and making sure that everything is a lot more difficult than it should be. Wolverine is causing my videos to be demonetized like Bison is causing yours. You know, this is what happens. We got to have a better screening process for, you know, our hired help. Speaking of Bison, I got to, as you know, he's going to be involved in the next JWF segment, so I got to get that written, first of all. And I got to finish building my little thing that I want to do. Project 422 Films. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. My animation is the shoots, man. TMNT said is awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Which TMNT here? Because I got the, I don't know if you can really see, but I got the Rebel Tech ones there, and then the NECA black and white ones there. Or do you mean the set, like the diorama? Because that's that black and white one that I'm making, and I want to finish that. That's cool. I'm really looking forward to displaying that. Hi Cole. Does YouTube even care about anyone besides their top stars? I doubt it. I mean, YouTube is a business like anything else, so they're obviously going to put more money and effort and advertising into the people who are bringing people in. So, like, you know, a casual person who may have never even heard of YouTube will have heard of friggin' like PewDiePie or something like that and just go find him through that. You would have to really be a fan of... For me, for example, like you'd have to be a fan of like animation or, you know, comic books or wrestling or something like that. And then you'd have to dig through a lot of other stuff before you'd even come across me. So I'm not somebody who's going to make YouTube a ton of money, but somebody who's their big star, they would. And so now YouTube is going to work the algorithm to get people to pay more attention to that rather than user content from somebody like who's just trying to put, you know, let's say a song or an animation or like a review or something like that out. The black and white one. All right, cool. Thank you. Here's a loaded question. What is... Well, let's see. Let's go up a little bit just so I don't miss anybody. Because thank you all for coming out. It's 10 p.m. on the East Coast on a Thursday, so it might be late for people in their work week and, you know, if you got school or whatever. Let's see. What's my opinion on Rebel Tech, Deadpool, and Spider-Man? I like the way Spider-Man looked. I didn't get either one of them. I was going to just skip most of Rebel Tech's figures for Marvel until Wolverine came out, and then I was like, all right, I'm kind of sold on this one. I do like it. He's not without his flaws, but I mean, to me they're minor, and mine, it's not flaws in the figure itself. It's like little minor quality control things. Like one of the pegs that's in his arm was like really stiff, and I had a hard time moving it, so I had to work with that a little bit. But as far as a figure itself goes, I like it. They're highly stylized, so you're gonna get a bunch of people that, if they don't like to pose and mess with their figures and put them in real dynamic poses, they're not gonna like the figure, and that's just how it is. You know, it's not like a Marvel Legend where you can stand him up straight on a shelf and he'll look fine. You have to have him in a cool pose if you want them to be worth the money you pay for them. Favorite director? That's a good one, actually. I don't know. It's sad because YouTube is also treating their top stars like shit. Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. I thought it was more about like directing them to the people who were gonna make them the most money from like ad revenue and everything else. I'd pay you just to live stream more. My voice is more soothing than Barry White on LSD. Well, thank you. That sounds like something I can't comment on. I don't know much about Barry White and LSD, so if that's something that's worth money, hell, let's just set up a GoFundMe or whatever. Bill the Toy Canic said the same thing about Rebel Tech. Oh yeah, okay, I saw that on his Instagram. I had the same, I think it might have even been the same exact issue that he had. Going back up a minute here to Cameron, my favorite Marvel Legends figure. That's not easy to answer. There's so many. I'm looking off screen at the X-Men I got set up there. The Wolverine, the brown and tan Wolverine from like 1 or 2 X-Men waves ago is really, really good. The Cyclops that just came out, the one in the, not the Jim Lee one with the yellow straps, but the 2-pack one with Dark Phoenix, that figure is really, really nice. And it's like just such a simple design, but the way they nailed the paint and the sculpt really works well for that figure. So, I don't know, just something about that figure I really like. Let's see. Rogue is great. The one from the Juggernaut wave. It's, I don't know, my favorite. There's so many good ones. It's tough. Venom is really nice. The one that had the alternate head with the tongue hanging out and like, man, I'd have to go back through some of my legends and actually just pick a favorite. The 2-pack Cyclops is great. Still have not seen that 2-pack in my stores. I'll have to keep an eye out then. Hair growth on point, by the way. Thank you. Planning on buying any new wrestling figs? I showed this AJ Styles. He's not new now, but I got him at Big Lots. Also, for $10 at Big Lots, D'Lo Brown. Put that on my Instagram. It's a little while ago now. It's a good figure. I actually really like that figure a lot. A birthday gift from a friend of mine was the first Demon King here, Finn Balor. What else, wrestling-wise, did I get? A couple that are not within my arm's reach right now, but I do plan on getting some new ones. Try to think, like the Kurt Angle we mentioned at the beginning here. There's a couple other. Oh, that Jericho, the Jericho with the 2 belts. That's definitely high on my priorities list. Let's see. Happy. Oh, thank you, Ruby Gone. Would I pick up the Hardys? Yes, actually. Matter of fact, I would be more interested in current Hardys than like Attitude Era Hardys, because for me, like when I was a big fan back then, like I liked Edge and Christian, I liked the Dudley Boys, but the Hardy Boys, like, you know, they were cool, but you know, as far as my favorite teams, I could take them or leave them. I just didn't really have that same. I wasn't as big a fan of theirs, you know. But these days, I like them, and I like how off the wall and insane Matt is, and Jeff is basically still the same as he was 10 years ago, so I mean, yeah, I'll buy figures. Let's see. Thoughts on the Shield reunited? That's fine. I mean, it's their way to make Roman Reigns get cheered again, and honestly, I don't think Ambrose has been doing a whole lot. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't watch very frequently, but it seems like people don't really give him much to do. I mean, Seth Rollins has been pretty much in the spotlight since the Shield broke up, which is fine because I like Seth, but the other guys don't really do much. So, well, Roman does. I shouldn't say that. Ambrose doesn't really do a lot, but I don't know, it's fine. I just like watching him beat up Braun Strowman. I thought that was cool. I'll pick up the list of Jericho. I got this one, the first one they did, and I guess they're doing another one in one of the Elite series. I think it's got a different head, and I like this figure, so I might skip the newer version that's coming out, but let's see. Marvel Legends is treating the X-Men like gold, while actual Marvel are deleting them from history. That's weird. Like, outside of the figures, like, I was so shocked when they actually had the X-Men waves announced, and the fact that they're still doing it. Like, there's that whole Deadpool, I think it's the Deadpool series, but it's got, like, all the 90s X-Force characters in it, and then they announced, like, another wave with some X-Men characters with the Tiger Stripe Wolverine and Psylocke and, like, Mohawk Storm, and I'm like, I'm buying every one of them. And I think that's what what Hasbro is seeing, is, like, that the figures sell. Like, certainly more than, like, the Inhumans figures do, because nobody cares. I will say, though, Astonishing X-Men, I've got issues 1 through 4 now. I haven't read 4 yet, but that's been a good read so far. So anybody that wants X-Men comics, go ahead. Check those out. Let's see. The ringside GameStop one is better. Okay, well, that's kind of what I thought, too, but I got to check it out. There's finally a new Biker Undertaker. I saw that, and that's cool. Because I sold my Big Evil, like, Elite 18 or 19 or whichever one that was long ago, and I still have, like, whatever that WrestleMania Heritage throwback one was with the short hair with the cloth coat and hat, and that's, if you take the coat and stuff off, it's basically the same as that figure. It just doesn't say, like, Dead Man Inc. on the legs, but it's cool that they're doing another one. I may pick that up. He's the only member of the Shield on a video game cover. Well, that's my man Seth. Let's see, isn't TNA for sale? I think so. I'm not 100%. I can't keep up with what goes on TNA because it seems like it changes every week. I know Jeff Jarrett it was like Global Force for a little while, and then Jarrett was out, and now I guess somebody else is buying it or looking at it. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Let's see if I missed anything here. If a fish were to smoke, would it smoke through its gills or its mouth? I'm going to go with gills, but I don't know. I'm going to go with gills, because smoking goes straight to the lungs, and if fish use their gills to get stuff essentially to what their lungs would be, let's go with that. WWE should release Fred Durst and The Undertaker Battle Pack. Somebody would buy it. Did I get the new Hulk Hogan 12-inch Storm figure? No, I don't mess with the 12-inch stuff. I did get the 6-inch one, or 7-inch, or whatever it is, because Storm, I'm such a mark for Storm collectibles these days, it's not even funny. Matter of fact, side note, I did get this Ken the other day, the Street Fighter V one. I was originally going to hold off and just get the variant in yellow and white, but I saw this and decided, like, you know what, it's an impulse purchase, I got a little extra money, so I might as well. And I'm glad I did, because this is a really nice figure. Like, I have 1 or 2 minor issues with the Ryu, because of, it's not any, like, real issues with the figure itself, but it's just because of the karate uniform. Sometimes it's hard to, like, get his arm across, but Ken doesn't have that problem, because he doesn't have, like, the rubber uniform top, so he can get a little better poses, and he comes with more stuff than Ryu does. He comes with the same Hadouken effect, but he also comes with, like, flames that you can attach to his feet and his hands, and it's crazy. I like that figure a lot. Let's see. You think WWE would buy it and put all its crap on the network? I don't know. Can you imagine WWE Network having, like, was it the Outlaws doing their VKM imitations of Shawn Michaels and Triple H? Although then again, they got WCW on there doing all the same thing, so who knows? Hello, VTW. Would I ever get the Figure Arts WWE figures? I wasn't impressed with Austin and The Rock. Undertaker doesn't look great to me. However, Kane looks awesome. I will say that they did a great job on Kane. But I wouldn't collect them because to me, Mattel does fine. If Storm started doing more, I would definitely be more interested in that because Storm collectibles, they're like heavier, more solid figures, and they're in much better scale with Mattel stuff, so there would be like enough of a crossover appeal for me. Let's see. Thoughts on the new NECA figures and Blade Runner 2049? I don't. I haven't seen the movie. I'm not that interested in the movie honestly because I didn't see the original Blade Runner. It's just not one of those things that ever really fascinated me that much. But what does NECA got coming out anytime soon? I forget what they showed. Oh, actually no, they didn't show anything at New York Comic Con. I know they weren't there. I read something that they had basically like blown their budget on San Diego and one of the other shows. So I don't know. So I couldn't tell you honestly what they even got coming out. Get Storm's Hot Ryu. Well, it's not a bad looking figure, honestly. You're gonna get WWE 2K18. We've talked about it a little bit before. I'm probably not going to just because of free time that I unfortunately don't have. They had a new Vasquez and Ripley drop recently. Okay, I saw that Ripley and I couldn't remember if it was the same Ripley that they had out already, and I just was misremembering thing, and I had a Mandela effect going on in my brain. But okay, no, I did see that Ripley, and that does look cool. I like that one. Thoughts on the Defenders? I actually haven't seen it yet. I'm pretty far behind. I haven't seen Iron Fist or Luke Cage, and I hear Luke Cage is really good. I hear Iron Fist is not, and I heard Defenders was pretty good. So I do want to go back and watch at least Luke Cage and Defenders, but I'll get to there eventually. Have I gone to see the new It remake? Yes, I have, and I was expecting it to be scarier than it was, but I mean that doesn't make it a bad movie. It's just, you know, I liked it though. I will go see the new, I guess the sequel when it comes out. Thoughts on Adam Cole? I feel like I should know that name. Who did I think was going to win Mayweather-McGregor? I thought Mayweather was going to win because it's a boxing match. It's just, you know, you're essentially taking one guy's abilities and like limiting them to the point where it's like, right, okay, well, you're now only allowed to use like 20% of your fighting arsenal against somebody who's done that 20% his whole life, and he knows way more than you. So I don't know. It's like if you're expected to take like the SATs or something, and they're like, right, but you're only allowed to use math. So when you get to the English questions, just, you know, good luck. You're not gonna get far. I should know Adam Cole. I'm a Young Buck, aren't I? Oh, so okay. He was around the house for Christmas when my brothers, the Young Bucks, were home. Yeah, okay. So yeah, he's a good guy. When am I putting out a new animation of WWE? Oh, so like JWF. I don't know. I do want to finish the holiday show soon. I got a couple things I want to make for that, and I actually have an idea for like a shorter. What do you call it? Like a highlight reel video, I guess. So similar to like how if you go way back on my channel and watch like the Intercontinental Championship tournament that I did, where I had like clips of all the smaller matches leading up to the main Intercontinental, like #1 contender match. I want to do something like that because I realized for the holiday show, there's a lot of wrestlers that I haven't used in that, and they're pretty important in JWF right now. So I want to make something where it's like, well, here's why a lot of these guys weren't on the holiday show, because they were off doing this, and then have that be a shorter video kind of tying things together. Captain to Captain. Sadly, I cannot join you to say happy birthday, as YouTube. It's a bitch. Have a good one. Go to rest in power. Thank you, Kirk. Thank you for the birthday wish and the, you know, hopefully everything works out for you, figuring out YouTube. Favorite stand-up comic? I'm not a huge stand-up comic guy, but there's, and I'm awful with names, so that's like actually just a doubly hard question for me to answer. I'll have to think about that. Did you see that a WWE writer got fired for taking a picture with the Bullet Club? That made me... Yeah, I saw that, and that's just petulant. That's not anything that I wouldn't expect them to do. Why can't I post the stuff I made for WWE on my channel? I think because I was under contract to them, that becomes their video when I give it to them. So, I mean, in theory, I guess I could put it on my channel, but it would just immediately get copyright striked and be like, this doesn't belong to you, this belongs to them, even though I was the one that made it. So, I mean, I don't know, it's no different than, like, you know, if somebody asks you to ghostwrite a book, that's not your writing when you give it to them anymore. It becomes theirs. Happy birthday. Thank you, VTW. Favorite junk food. Lately, I've been a gummy bear guy lately, and I don't go for many sweets. I'm normally a salty snack guy, but gummy bears lately. And there's these no, not Skittles. There's these Starbursts out right now. They're called Sweet Heat. They come in the black wrapper. It's like eating a regular Starburst with like a blast of like hot sauce at the end, and it's awesome. I love it. Highly recommend it to anybody if you like just a little bit of flavor after the fact. Check those out. Go watch some Mitch Hedberg. He's hilarious. Okay, yeah, he is. See, I've seen, like, was it Louis C.K. and Mitch Hedberg, and some of these guys, like, somebody tells me the name of somebody, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, it's that guy. But, like, to say a favorite is tough for me. I was fixated on gummy bears for a long time. I'm on Mike and Ike's now. See, yeah, me and gummy bears have had, like, a cultural renaissance here in Apartment 9, by way of not being really Apartment 9, but yeah, Haribo can do no wrong for me. Hi bro, more WWE motion videos. Rocco, it's coming. It's it's a slow burn, but I do want to get some more out there. Gummy Bear Squad. Can I do a Darth Maul and ObiWan stop motion? Eddie says I look like Matt Jackson. I have seen enough of Matt Jackson now where I'm just like, yeah, you know what, I'll take it. I even got my little headbands up there. So, you know what, people like the Young Bucks, so I'll take it. Can I do a Darth Maul and ObiWan stop motion? Maybe a short one of these days. I don't know. It'd just be something for me to do to fill in some time, and just, it'd be cool, like, special effects and whatever. I do have those figure arts Darth Maul and ObiWan that I just, ever since I moved, I haven't really taken them out of the boxes, and that's been over a year now, so. John Mulaney is one I would suggest. Alright. Did I see CM Punk's UFC fight? I didn't watch it. Like, I didn't pay for it. I think it was somebody, like, reposted it on, like, Facebook or something. And worked out about as well as people were thinking it was going to, I guess. So, I like CM Punk. There's a lot of wrestling fans out there who still want to see him come back to wrestling. I personally don't, because I think he's had his time, and that time has come and gone. And just, he can go do whatever he wants now and do it on his terms. And I'm a big supporter of anybody who gets themselves out of a situation that they don't want to be in anymore. So I'm like, you know what? Fine. He didn't like what he was doing. He moved on. And there's a lot of people out there that are like, oh, fuck him, he sucks. No. He was in a bad situation that he didn't like, and he got out. So, more power to him. That said, maybe UFC is not the career choice that I would have picked if I were one CM Punk. Cap Jackson. Hell yeah. Do I prefer using Mattel or Jakks toys for stop motion? I've gotten a lot more used to the Mattel Elites. There was a little bit of a learning curve. Like Jakks, their deluxe aggression style figures, they were really easy to use from about the waist down, but their arms were so big and bulky that it was tough sometimes to use the upper bodies. Mattel has kind of fixed that up a little bit, but they both have their high and low points, honestly. Mattel just looks more like real people, and Jakks look more like video game wrestlers or something like that, where it's like a little more cartoony style. So it really just depends on your aesthetic. I will say Jakks still has better head sculpts than Mattel for the most part. There's some scans where the guys are screaming and stuff that it's like, why would they pick that expression for a figure? But then you look at some of Mattel's recent offerings and you're like, why did this get past the production stage? I don't know. Can I make a Pentagon Junior custom? I don't know. I mean, I know the name, but I couldn't tell you anything about Pentagon Junior, so I don't know. Like, I'm probably not going to make a custom of them. That one Punk, what's my favorite wrestling theme song right now or of all time? Currently? Let's see. Seth Rollins is cool. A lot of the NXT guys, well, formerly NXT guys, so like Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, this guy, the one everybody likes, Nakamura. Just there's some cool ones. I like those guys. Mountain Man, my roommate, he basically decides which wrestlers he likes based on how much he likes their theme music. So if he likes their music, he's gonna watch their matches and root for that guy. So that's why he likes Finn Balor and Samoa Joe and stuff like that. So, I mean, could do worse. I mean, he could like a guy with awesome music who just sucks in the ring. Like, so thankfully that's not the case. Azaz, thank you. The artist formerly known as Colter. Happy birthday, Colter. I know we share a very special day of being introduced to this world. And good luck next year against the artist. I want to see that third fight, the big tiebreaker. Best figures and worst to do stop motion. That's tough. Let's see. I mean, SH Monster Arts are great to do stop motion with because they're so big and bulky that, like, you don't have to worry about him tipping over. Like, I've never had a Godzilla fall over when I was animating him because he just, like, his lower body is so wide that that's not going to happen. I'm trying to think of anything that I've animated that I've ever said, like, I'm never animating these figures again. Some of the earlier Hasbro Marvel Legends where they don't have, like, quite T-jointed hips, like, it's more of a Y joint, so you have to, like, their leg doesn't come straight up and down, it's, like, out and to the side, and I'm like, I hate this. I don't want to use that anymore. That's why, if you watch X-Men Brotherhood, between episodes 2 and 3, you'll notice that Cyclops and Wolverine are different figures, because the older ones had that horrible hip articulation, and I was just tired of dealing with it. Have I thought about checking out Lucha Underground or Glow on Netflix? I've heard good things about Glow. Lucha Underground, I'd check out. Like, I mean, that's something that I've always heard about, and I just never actually made the time to go do it. I think I would sooner probably watch something like New Japan before checking that kind of stuff out. What does my lady friend think of my channel? If I know her, she may be watching this right now in the background of doing whatever she's doing. She's a fan. She likes it. She likes to go back and watch some of the old stuff, and she sometimes is just like, so when are you going to put up a new thing? Like, when you got people waiting. Have I picked up the Shinsuke Nakamura Elite? No, I haven't, but I would like to get one at some point. Thoughts on AJ Styles? He's great. I mean, every match I've ever seen with him in it has been good. And, like, good is the lowest it gets. It goes from anywhere from good all the way up to, like, great. Phenomenal. But no, he's awesome. Even, like, going back and watching an OSW review that did a bunch of TNA pay-per-views from, like, 2007 recently, and watching, like, their highlights of the matches with AJ Styles in them, like, he was awesome even then. So this is a guy he deserves to be on top where he is. I will exact my revenge on artists swiftly and harshly. I need another, like, promo video before that happens. Pizza or burger? I had a burger today, but pizza I could pretty much eat every day and not get sick of, so I'd give the slight edge to pizza. Also, it's a little cheaper if you're getting it, like, at a good place. Dream opponent for Godzilla. Damn, okay. I always thought a cool stop motion, if I ever got two figures in the same scale, would be Godzilla versus Galactus. Like, have Galactus come and start to, you know, do his process where he's going to absorb all the Earth's energy, and all the Marvel heroes have fallen and they can't stop him. And then up over the mountain walks Godzilla. And then the two of them just have a big kaiju battle, and Galactus can't figure out why Godzilla's not falling for any of his attacks or any of this kind of stuff. I would check that. I've thought about animating something like that if I ever got the chance, and I think it would be cool. Mac Down, what's up? We need a Bison versus Wolverine animation. A little Street Fighter versus X-Men. Do have this Wolverine now. As a matter of fact, I got the Mezco Wolverine at some point coming whenever they announce that they're shipping. And I saw a picture by Cheney180 on Instagram today. And he's got the Wolverine Mezco looking up at the Storm Collectibles Zangief, and it shows that they're actually in a really good scale. So that would be cool. Hi, Viper. Let's see. And check out Glow. It's awesome. Dan Von Carr. I agree. Monster arts are the best. NECA is kind of the worst. Specifically, Pacific Rim hates the articulation on the kaijus. My roommate had a couple of those, and they looked cool, but yeah, I could see that it would be tough. Was it Leatherback, the big, like, gorilla thing? The big black and blue. He's a heavy figure. I know that. Like, he seemed like he was the easiest one to move around. But then there was, like, Knifehead, who was kind of, like, really tough to get in any kind of a pose. Oh, Burnout Inc. I would gladly. Thank you, sir. Colter versus Artist is greater than Goldberg versus Lesnar, greater than McGregor versus Mayweather. Yeah, and you know what? We're getting a hard-fought trilogy out of Colter and the Artist, and it's been tooth and nail the entire time, so I love it. Like, it's not like Goldberg just comes in and jackhammers Lesnar in 40 seconds and wins. Let's see. I can't explain what's happening and do it enough justice, but Hellhammer is trying to jump into the bed under the comforter, but she's not quite making it, and so she's like falling and trying to pull herself up, and it's so now I got a blob of a cat halfway onto the bed, and I'm getting a new bed tomorrow anyway, so let her just cut that mattress up. I don't care. Let's see. Do a stop motion of Ric Flair versus Moses in the middle of the parted sea to find out who can pilot the Ark for God. That's a true story. Flair was there. What's the Batcave looking like? Project 422. The repainted one? I do show this in upcoming Between the Frames, actually, and I don't have the pieces right here with me. I think they're in the living room. But I did repaint a couple more of the street level pieces, and there's one I really like how it came out. Another one I wasn't sure on. You'll see what I mean when whenever I upload the video, but I may go back and reprime that and paint it again. But either way, it's better than that flat tan plastic that it was. And besides that, I haven't repainted much else with it yet. I want to get a couple other pieces primed, and maybe some of the actual Batcave environments I'll start painting. Because I do still have this thing here that I never opened up, but like the Bat computer in there and all the props and everything, like this would be really cool to put on display. So one of these days I'll finish my ultimate Batcave display diorama. Let's see. He tried animating Trespasser. Is that one of the kaiju? See, I never got great at like identifying like which kaiju were which. I know some of the Jaegers I knew, like Chernobyl something, and I just disproved everything I was about to say. I don't even know. So, all right, but Hellhammer is just as bad as Chi-Chi. Yeah, Hellhammer. She made it up on the bed, thankfully. So there's like a nice, relatively made bed with a comforter, with just a blob in the middle of it, and that's where she's decided she's gonna lay herself down. Let's see. Where is Batman slaps Godzilla? You know, maybe one of those bat sprays will be some kind of like, I don't know, size enhancer. And it'll just grow to the size of Godzilla and slap him. That'd be fun. Let's see. Getting serious for a moment, what are your honest opinions on our current president? I'm curious. You know, to keep this brief, it's a very telling thing when all of the current former presidents who are still alive basically have nothing but negative things to say about the current president. And now these are all guys that don't have a lot of things to agree on in between themselves, but one thing that they all have in common is they're all like, right, this guy, not great. I'll just leave that alone. I'm just not a fan. Let's see. I'm awesome. Thank you, Rocco. Let's see. Did I see Split with James McAvoy? No, but I did hear that that was good. And I heard it was good long before I heard it was Shyamalan. So I was like, wow. Normally when his movies come out, I hear like, oh, you know, this is Shyamalan crap. You know, it's the same thing where there's a twist at the end. And sometimes the twist is good. Other times it's The Village. So I didn't actually see it though. But I heard it has like ties in with, what's this other one? Unbreakable, I think. But I don't know. I would check it out, like if it's on Netflix or something at some point. Love you too, Viper. Would I pick up a Goldberg figure? Yeah, absolutely. I like the one that's out now. I just don't want to get the whole ring and all that. I was saying, I think on one of Bird Down Inc.'s videos, actually, like where he does the review of the ring. If it was like a basic ring, but it's still lit up like that, that would be something that I would pick up just for like a display piece, you know? I'd put that on a shelf and, you know, just turn the lights on and just have that sit back there looking cool while I'm doing a live stream. Then I'd look real cool. 2007 John Cena. Want to trade? I don't really do any trading on YouTube, so nah, not really. It's not really a twist, but more of a reveal, and it's awesome. Cool. Okay. Favorite figure overall in your entire collection? Oh, man, still. I mean, I still like the Hot Toys Batman and Joker from the '89 movie. I still. Man, I don't know. It's really, really tough to pick, like, just a one favorite figure. But yeah, probably one of those two, honestly. Let's see. I just recently got back into Doctor Who, and I heard the 12 is going to regenerate in the Christmas special. I want to watch it, but I don't know if it'll be on BBC or another channel. I don't know much about Doctor Who, and I feel like that's like calling my nerd credibility into question, because a lot of people do like Doctor Who, and I just don't know anything about it, so I couldn't tell you if it's like good or bad. But I mean, it's got a following, and it's like a really long running thing too. So yeah, cool. What gave me the idea to make that awesome Batman Star Wars crossover trailer? Will only be a trailer or turn into a full animated short? That's not gonna ever be anything more than it is now. I think the absurdity of it kind of stands alone better as it's like as just a trailer. But I don't remember where I even got the idea. I just got thinking, like, what if it would be funny if the Joker was like a dark Sith Lord and Batman had to learn how to use the Force in order to stop him. And originally I was like, well, there'd be no way to make this trailer. And then I got, a while later, started with like animating and had all the figures. I'm like, I could actually make that trailer now that I know how to do all this stuff, you know? Let's see, best dance move to bust out during a party. Well, I mean, I make up a lot of terrible dance moves, like, on purpose they're terrible. I don't know, I figure if, like, I'm not a good dancer, by any means. So if I'm going to dance, it's going to be terrible. And so that's why I purposely custom tailor awful dance moves to myself, so that when they're terrible, I can say, well, yeah, of course they are. I made them to be that way. So, I mean, it's tough to describe, but let's see. I cannot dab. I do still talk to DGDX Animation. I was actually in touch with him the past couple of days. Somebody asked something about short animations. Have I thought about making stop motion short animations, roughly around 30 seconds to a minute long? I've thought about that a little more lately, now that I know that YouTube's like whole formula is messed up. I'm like, well, it's not like my video is going to just show up in any random feed or anything, because I'm not like a huge, 10 million subscribers follower kind of a guy. So if I made like lots of smaller videos, it might attract some new attention and get new people watching my videos and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I'm happy with the audience I got right now, because most of them are pretty sensible, and I see a lot of the same names appear on all my videos, so that means I know people are coming back to check what I'm doing and just see, like, what projects are in development and stuff like that. But I would consider it, short animations is something that I could do in like a day or 2 days or whatever, and just have, more videos for people to pick from. Am I still doing WWE videos? I'm still doing like wrestling animations, but not for WWE, if that's what you mean. I gotta go, Cat. The head is starting to kill me. Happy birthday. Have a good night. Well, that one punk, thank you for stopping in. Marvel or DC? I'm more of a Marvel Universe overall guy, but I'm also a big Batman fan, and so I think Batman is my favorite. So like him and his characters are like kind of like top tier for me. But on the whole, I know more about Marvel characters and that kind of thing than I do about like other DC characters besides Batman. So on the whole, I guess I got to say Marvel. If I had to do a stop motion, who would I want to win, Wolverine or Superman? I like Wolverine more, but there's no way in my mind that I can conceivably have him beat Superman unless he's like, I don't know, adamantium is like a byproduct of kryptonite or something. Like, I don't know how that would be. Like, you can't make raw adamantium without having a little kryptonite in there, and that's why Wolverine's claws can hurt Superman, Like, I don't know. I don't know how I would even do that. Let's see. Dime algo. I'm going to try and speak English for the rest of this. I don't think my audience really knows much Spanish. Well, they might, but, I mean, I don't know enough Spanish to get me through a live stream. Proof YouTube is broken. I have notifications turned on for Cap, and I never get notified when he's live or is uploaded. So that sucks. I mean, that's kind of what what makes me have to go to like Instagram and Twitter and stuff to be like, hey, you know, I got a new video out. And I always feel like I'm spamming on like Twitter when I constantly like, hey, check out the new one, the new one, the new one, because nobody friggin' knows what's happening, you know, and it sucks. YouTube used to be way better at that. Thank you, YXW Animation. Batman and Spider-Man have the best rogue gallery and supporting cast. Yeah, I agree. Spider-Man, there are a lot of his villains that I do like. It's like Doc Ock was one of my childhood favorites. Lizard's great. Venom's great. Yeah, so many. So it's easy to see why like characters like Batman and Spider-Man can exist in their own worlds as well as in like a much larger, you know, full comic-wide continuity. So that's why Batman can join the Justice League and Spider-Man can be with the Avengers, but they can also be in their own cities doing their own thing. I think that's cool. Let's see. When can we expect more WWE animations? And happy birthday. Well, thank you. I want to finish part 4 of the holiday special at some point soon, but you know, just time willing, and I've got a couple different things that I have to build for various reasons, but you'll see that at some point soon. Matter of fact, maybe I'll even do that tomorrow. Not the whole thing, obviously, but I'll start filming and I'll start building. Let's see. Have I read... What timeline does JWF take place? It's in its own timeline. Like, it started off like where I wanted it to have a really 90s feel, and I think I've maintained that feel, even though I've got like better equipment and better scenery and that kind of thing. And I've started integrating some newer guys. So you've seen CM Punk, you've seen The Shield, you've seen a couple of these guys that are like modern appear on JWF. I kind of figure like in JWF, nobody gets any older than they are on the screen. So, you know, I could have classic Ric Flair show up and have a match with like Finn Balor, and because it's animation and silly, it makes sense. But yeah, it's more of an Attitude Era type setting, but I just take wrestlers from all over the place that I like and I just use them. I recently got Dragon Frame. I'm learning how to use it, and once I finish learning, plan on making Awesome Wolverine versus Django Fett stop motion. How gory should I make it? I don't know anything about Dragon Frame, but if you're able to put in lots of cool effects, and if it suits your purposes, go for it. Go all out. I got a couple ideas for an animation I want to do, and I just got to figure out how to do, like, fight effects and blood effects and things like that. So, you know, the more we know, right? Let's see. Do you think the WWE should go back to the Attitude Era style of booking? Not necessarily. I mean, if you go back and watch Raw from like 98 to early 99, there's like 2-minute matches and they always end in DQ and nothing happens. It just progresses a storyline or a feud into the next pay-per-view. And the fact that they had Stone Cold basically meant that they were going to get awesome ratings regardless. But if you're actually telling stories, it's tough to do when you're not, when you don't have that focus on it, you know. And now that Raw is 3 hours, I think that's too long, honestly. But they do have more time to flesh stuff out like that. The problem is you don't have as many interesting characters because everybody's being written by the same like 2 guys backstage to say basically the same thing. So I don't know. I don't know how they would improve, honestly. Let's see. Happy birthday to you. Well, Viper singing. Thank you. I see VTW talking to Chase. Oh, another treat I got myself. I did get Nappa. I opened him up and was messing with him a little bit. He is cool. I do like him. I put away a lot of my Dragon Ball Z figures because I want to build like some little better scenery, and from there I'll set him back up again. But you know, I was getting tired of the same display. But Nappa's nice. I do like. He's actually, for a big figure, he's actually really articulated too. It's kind of like Android 16 was. If you have that figure. It looks like it's going to be bulky and the articulation is going to be kind of like limited, but it's really not. Let's see. I mean, you have to think some of the timelines like you would in a video game. Like in, yeah, basically. Exactly. See, now some people like the WWE things. I like every video you make, WWE or not. Well, thank you. I can appreciate that there are people out there like me who have a lot of different interests, and so I think that's the people that I want to reach with my channel. You know, people who can watch, they'll see my videos pop up, not in their subs box, because that doesn't happen anymore. Thanks, YouTube. But, yeah, people just like different things, you know. to me, like, I don't want to just be doing the same thing constantly because that gets boring for me. And so if I can find an audience that likes different things, then they're going to be entertained, or at least have an option. They might not like everything, but at least they'll have a list of potential things that they could watch. Yes, I did get Nappa. Hell yeah. And the best part was, through work, every now and then there's like this recognition program where like they'll give you these little cards. So like you know, let's say you stay late one day, or like somebody might give you one of these little cards that's worth, you know, it's whatever it is. But you can use them to get Amazon gift credit. And so I had gotten enough over the past like year where I'm like, let me plug all these in, and it wound up being like a lot of money. So I basically put all that towards Nappa. I paid like $6 for them, of my own money. Like, score. Which company do I like more, DC Collectibles or DC UC? I like a lot of the DC UC figures, but the Metallo line has not evolved in like 10 years. Like that DC UC body from that series 1, like Batman, has been still what they're using to make like even the most excuse me, even the most like recent Batman. It just hasn't changed. Even though figures as a whole have gotten better in the past 10 years, like Mattel refuses to update that. So DC Collectibles, they're hit and miss, but a lot of the stuff they do is, at least they're trying, you know? And there's a lot of really nice DC Collectible stuff out there. I haven't gotten anything of theirs in a while, but I mean, the stuff I do have, I like. I have some of the Arkham stuff, and just, you know, a few odds and ends. The first animated series Batman that came out, I have him, and he's nice. And, you know, they're not without their limits, but they are good. Let's see. Project 422. Hey, well, thanks for staying. And I realize doing this on a Thursday night is not ideal, but I also realize I haven't done it in a while, so I got to get something out here. Let's see. Between the Frames. Yes, Burnout Inc. I can't pull it up right now, but I do have a couple minutes of Between the Frames footage. Probably like 8 minutes now. And I want to shoot one or two little things and get a new video together. Let's see. Will I ever have more modern superstars join JWF? That's, if you remember what I said a little while ago about where some of the guys that I use in JWF were not on the holiday show. What I want to do is have something explaining where they were and what they were doing. And I thought, like, let's just have them overseas doing some kind of a cross-promotional thing. And that's where I'll be able to say, oh, yeah, by the way, that's where all these other wrestlers are, and that's why you don't see them on JWF. So in other words, I might be able to have, like, Finn Balor on there and just be like, well, he works for this other promotion, but JWF has a business deal with him, and that's why he's in the ring with fucking Kane or somebody, you know? Like, it's just an excuse to say, yeah, these guys aren't regular on JWF, but I do like them, and so I can use them on in that regard, you know. And that way, if they show up, it's like, oh yeah, well, you remember this guy from the time that they were fighting in, you know, Hong Kong or Europe or wherever they were. Let's see. Am I excited for the new Mattel Hardy Boys? Yes. As a matter of fact, I'm more excited for newer versions than I am of like Attitude Era, like throwback versions. I admire your stop motion and commentary. Well, thank you, KK. Do I like Jurassic Park figures? If so, am I looking forward to what Mattel is making? Are Mattel making Jurassic Park stuff? There is a... I mean, don't get me wrong. I would be interested in seeing what they come out with. There is a line of... what's it called? Beasts of the Mesozoic, I think. It's like a Kickstarter type thing, like Articulated Icons was with their ninjas. But they've got like a series of raptors out now, and they look awesome. And I kind of want to pre-order some, and it just keeps slipping my mind. But I want to get like one or two of those because I think they look great. And if they're anything like the quality of the Articulated Icon ninjas, then I know they're going to be good. So I might just take that risk and, you know, put a little aside for that. Let's see. What is a better title for a stop motion for Viper? Batman The Fall of Night or Batman Family Lost? See, The Fall of Night makes me think of Nightfall, and I like Nightfall, so personally, that's me. That's what I would think is a better one. Do I think Toys R Us going bankrupt will have a big effect on Mattel or Jakks, etc.? Only if they close. And it doesn't look like they're closing, because they've gone bankrupt, but people, I think people think of bankruptcy as like, right, we're shutting our doors and you'll never hear from us again. But bankruptcy basically just means that you're reassessing your business plan. So you're basically saying like, right, well, we don't have money to pay our debts. We need to reevaluate everything. And so that's what they're doing now. So if you see some stores close, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think it's going to affect, especially not like Jack's and Mattel. Well, Jack's, I don't know what they're even doing these days. But Mattel, they're getting enough product out there to Walmart and to Target and to now like FYE and places like that where I don't think they'll be that affected terribly. Let's see. What does JWF stand for? At this point, that's like just a mystery that I've kept all along. And honestly, the name doesn't make any sense anymore. So I'm just going to keep it until, like, basically if I reveal what the name JWF stands for, then you know you've probably seen the last JWF episode of anything. Hasbro lost the license and Mattel has it now. Oh, for Jurassic Park. Okay. Cap, the most important question of the night. Late 90s Sandra Bullock or early 90s Michelle Pfeiffer? Okay, so like Selena Kyle, Michelle Pfeiffer, and like Demolition Man, Sandra Bullock. Well, that might be like mid-90s, but she doesn't look that much different. I do like Sandra. I mean, I have to make that my final answer, I guess, just because if I think about it, it won't be something that I'll be able to put together. Will I create more pay-per-views for JWF? Yes. I mean, I don't know when, but I would like to. If I made that stop motion. The Batman one? Yeah, send me a tweet or tag me on Instagram or something when you put it up. Where's Nick Jackson at? He's home, hanging out with some of our boys. Brotherhood Part 4? Yeah, I wrote most of it, and I have to go back and just finish it. X-Men is one of those things where, like, I need to really, like, that needs to be my main focus for me to really put the kind of effort into it that I want. And that basically means getting in touch with voice people and doing all the, like, sequences and stuff I need, and then all the editing that comes along with different people doing different characters and stuff like that. And I know most of my voice actors that I've used previously would be down to come back, and there would be an issue there, but these are also independent creators who are doing their own things, and they might not necessarily have the free time right away, so it's just a longer process for X-Men. I need to know, gore and blood or PG blood and gore? You mean like which, as far as wrestling goes, or like just in general? I mean, I got no issues with blood and gore if you're watching the right kind of thing. Like, I wouldn't put a bunch of like gore in a wrestling match, but you know, if it's like, you know, Mortal Kombat and there's no blood in it, I'm like, well, you kind of missed the point. Remember Last Smith or MBG? Yeah, Last Smith posted something not too long ago, as a matter of fact. It was like a 7-year anniversary of his 3W, 6XW. And MBG is doing more photography stuff now. Like, I see him on Instagram and everything, and he's kind of promoting his, I don't know if it's his website or if it's a website that he's, like, affiliated with, but he's, you know, he's still doing his thing with figures. It's good to see me screaming again. Yeah, you know, it's been a while. It was actually Wadfigs sent me a happy birthday message yesterday, and he's like, yeah, I miss your live streams. And I'm like, you know what? So do I. It's been quite a while. So, I mean, he might not be, you know, he might be upset he missed this one, but he made me think, though. I got to get back to that. John Wick versus Liam Neeson from Taken. Wow, that's another tough one. See, Liam Neeson, he would need something, like, some reason to be doing all that stuff. Like, so, like, I don't know if John Wick, like, captures his daughter or something. What do I think of Marvel, or about X-Men not being on Marvel vs. Capcom? It's nonsense. It's stupid. I hate it. I'm not even interested in this Marvel vs. Capcom game because there's so many characters that were in previous games that just aren't in it. And, like, they even put Hagar in this game. And for me to just not be interested in a game that features Hagar, that's how you know you lost me. Like, because, I mean, the whole reason I even played the third one was because Hagar was in it. And I still got the third one out on the PS4. I downloaded that, and that's the one I'm going to play, I guess. Let's see. what is my favorite comic book? Lately, it's been Astonishing X-Men has been really good. The last, was it the Batman Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover has been really good. Not the animated one necessarily, but the standard one. And I think they're doing a return to that too coming up, so I'm looking forward to that. I don't remember when, but I heard Toys R Us went bankrupt once before this. I believe they did, and I remember if they didn't, there's definitely a lot of talk about it, and that was years and years ago. So I mean, I don't think they're going anywhere. I mean, granted, now since then, there's been a lot more focus on things like Amazon and like, online retailing and stuff. So a lot of people are like, right, why would I go to Toys R Us when I could just go to Big Bad Toy Store and buy a whole case of the figures and just be done with it? So that might be a factor in it. I don't know. I think Toys R Us's biggest problem is that I went in there today and they had 2-year-old Star Wars Black Series figures for friggin' full price. Like, no wonder you're not moving anything. Everybody's already got Finn and the girl from Rogue One, and like nobody wants to pay $20 for that. Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat? As far as the games, I liked Mortal Kombat better, but as far as like the characters and the storylines behind it, I kind of view both pretty equally. They're both pretty elaborate. I like them both. Matter of fact, the Street Fighter, since we're talking about comics, there was a Street Fighter 2 comic from, it was a while ago now, but it was like Udon or IDW, I can't remember, but it was awesome. Really like that one. Right Leg Production, thank you. That was my Batman vs. Terminator, inspired by the Batman vs. Terminator animation that went viral on YouTube. It wasn't inspired by that. I had seen that before, and I thought it was really well done. I wanted to do something just to kind of challenge myself with like scenery and just different sets and things that I hadn't really used much. And plus, I like that Mezco Batman, so I was like, right, I want to use that. And I wanted to just try something different. You know, there's no dialogue in it, so it's not like I can, like, for me to tell that story, I wanted it just to be told by what you saw on the screen. You know, I didn't want to have people in the background talking and things like that. Let's see. The DLC characters look amazing, so you can tell what their business model was for this game. You talking about Marvel vs. Capcom? Because that sounds about right. Capcom, they'll come out the gate with like half a game and then expect you to buy it. Wasn't the last one for Brotherhood Episode 3? No, I've done other live streams since then. I think I did one after the release of like Godzilla Aftermath, and I know the last one was a long while ago though, so it definitely we're well overdue. Captain McKay kind of looks and sounds like my 7th grade math teacher. Well, I'm sorry to bring those terrible memories back. If it's one thing I can't stand, it's math. I don't know how to do it. I'm bad at it, and I'm glad I don't have to take math classes anymore. Your brother calls you a nerd, but he's helping me with stop motion. That's cool, because in 2017, being a nerd is not like a bad thing. It's not like one of those stigmas that people have anymore. Not sure if you have or not, but would you implement comedy skits into your animations, or more frequently? I would, if that's something that people wanted to see. It was Udon, thank you. Most of anything comical, like skit-wise, I've done have always been like with update videos where it'll be like me and Wolverine like in some scenario where I'm trying to announce what the next video is going to be and he's off doing whatever, you know. So I try and have at least a little bit of comedy in that so that people have a reason to watch the update video. Like, because otherwise I could just put on Twitter and be like, hey, this is what I'm working on, and then be done with it. But I don't know. I like that kind of stuff too. Do you think the X-Men will be removed out of Marvel Comics, like Fantastic Four? I hope not, because the X-Men were the whole reason why I like Marvel Comics in the first place. So I'm not going to continue to support them if that's what they do. Or I'm going to severely cut back my support. I prefer stores instead of online buying because the thrill of toy hunting. You know, I do too, honestly. I like doing it. The reason why online, I think, has taken over a lot more is because you can get stuff, you know, like Rebel Tech or, you know, Storm Collectibles or stuff like that that a lot of stores don't sell. So you can't go into Toys R Us and buy, you know, buy this Ken. You're just not going to find it. Or at least maybe you can. I can't, I can tell you. But, yeah, so, like, specialty shops is one thing, but Toys R Us just doesn't carry stuff like that, unfortunately. Wad Figs might drop in. Oh, okay, cool. All right. This whole thing is his fault, so hopefully he does. Let's see. I just recently got this Halo figure because I got to get back into it. I've had a lot of stop motion ideas. Got a Black Series ObiWan, so you know what I'm doing. Nice. The ObiWan, old man ObiWan, or like the younger version? Hoy, LJ Berman. Where's Kenny Omega at? I'm probably having like an hour-long match that he's going to have a draw. Oh, yeah, I remember the Godzilla one. Okay, yeah. Will Captain McKay played Wolverine in DGDX Animations Justice Assembled? If he asks me to come back for that part, I will. I don't know what he's doing with Justice Assembled. I think he's... Well, I can tell you for sure he's got a lot of other things on his plate right now. So, I mean, whenever he does come back around to doing Justice Assembled, if he wants me to do Wolverine, I'll go back to doing Wolverine. Who do I hate in DC? That's a tough one. I'll have to think about that. If I'm thinking of, like, Injustice, I hated Killer Frost. It's not... Yeah, Killer Frost. I don't dislike Killer Frost, the character, but I just hated playing her in the video game. I don't know what it was. Gotta go. Alright, Dan Von Carr. Well, thank you for stopping in. And thank you for the birthday wish. What was my thoughts on Rogue One's new troopers? I have one of the action figures, the Death Troopers. I don't... I've never seen Rogue One, and I know it's on Netflix. Maybe tonight, actually. Maybe after I get done with the stream, I'll finally sit down and watch Rogue One. Because I've been meaning to see it. And it's free now, so why not? Also, the stop motion is on Viper's other channel. Alright. Younger, like episode 3. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there's new X-Men spin-off comics coming out. Captain McKay, I love you, man. Well, Adriana Delgado. Thank you, sir. Ma'am. I can't tell. It's YouTube, so people with names, I can't figure it out. Played Sub-Zero in Injustice 2, and he's so much fun. That's cool. Mountain Man downloaded him, and he showed me like a little bit of gameplay. Injustice 2 is... Yes, it is, Wad Figs. I'm glad you're here, though. It's all your fault. Mountain Man was playing a little bit of Sub-Zero, and I just haven't played any Injustice 2, really, to speak of. It's one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'm going to check it out and play it, and then time got away from me, and then just, you know, here we are months later, and I still haven't played through it yet. So, let's see. How do I feel about Glenn Webb's death? It was terrible. I mean, like, that was a guy whose videos I used to like watching, and it was somebody who I would interact with from time to time. Not a lot, but, you know, here and there. Like, I knew when he was going to release his videos, I knew that it was going to be something I would enjoy. He's watched a little bit of my stuff, too. So, I mean, when somebody like that who's making content that you like, when they die, it sucks, because it's no different than, I guess, when, like, your favorite actor or something, like, might die. But this seems like it's almost worse because it's somebody who's... I don't know if it's just because of YouTube or because of the hobby or something like that, but it just feels like it's somebody that's a little closer to you than maybe your favorite singer or actor or whatever would be. So anytime that happens, you know, with, you know, Glenn being one of those cases, it just sucks. It's no good. And, you know, it's been a while now, and, you know, I still go back and check out his videos from time to time. Right Leg Production. If I get better animation to the point where I'm at your DGDX animation level, what do you consider being a voice actor in my animations by then? I would consider it pretty much regardless. I mean, voice acting is something that if I get the day to do it, I can sit there and I can bust out like 3 or 4 different voice parts in one sitting. So, I mean, the only thing I do with voice actors, or with me voice acting, is like, I always make sure that the person has done most of the work before I sit down and do that. Because I've had a lot of times too where people want me to do, you know, long voice reads for different videos they do, and I'm like, all right, yeah, cool. And then I do it, and then they're like, actually, I went back and I rewrote the entire thing, so can you do this? And I'm like, so you basically just wasted all that time the other day, and I could have been doing something else. So, like, if you tell me that you've got a lot of it shot already, and you're like, here's the final script and whatever, then, you know, it doesn't hurt to shoot me a line. It doesn't mean I'm guaranteeing it, but if I have the time, I don't see why not. Let's see. Glenn and Craig's podcast was my favorite. That was a good podcast. I missed something like that. Let's see. Why is Colonel Sanders being put into WWE 2K18? I don't know. Probably the same reason that Fred Durst was in SmackDown 3 or 4 or whatever it was. And why... Oh, speaking of, cheap plug. Anybody that's interested in the SmackDown games, 616 Entertainment, my buddy Ian, he's been doing a retrospective on his channel, which 616 Entertainment, of all the old school SmackDown games. And he just put up the one for part 4 today. Is that Shut Your Mouth or Here Comes the Pain? I can't remember specifically, but it's the 4th out of the 5 videos he's doing. So right now he's presently got videos for SmackDown 1 and 2 on PS1, and then Know Your Role and Shut Your Mouth, I think, is the 2 that he's got for PS2. I might be botching the titles, but go check those videos out because it's really cool and it's informative. It kind of tells about all the things going into the SmackDown games and some of the development, and then when they leap platforms to PS2, like a lot of the stuff that went on there. It's a great series. I highly recommend it. Let's see. Sorry, Kat. Gotta go. I'm definitely gonna watch this tomorrow, so I bid farewell. Well, thank you, VTW, if you're still here. Just happy to hang out. Glenn had such a huge impact on so many people that make videos currently. Yeah, he really did. And aside from just being a charismatic guy to watch, I think he was one of the only reviewers that I could actually sit there and watch all of his videos. Because you got a couple of these guys now, was like Shartimus Prime and some of these others. And, no disrespect to them as people, but I just can't watch their videos. Like, I don't necessarily find the same attraction to their channel as I would find to somebody like Glenn, because Glenn always seemed like he was more level with the things that he was talking about. Like, he would point out the good and the bad in such a way that made me be like, all right, I can weigh this fairly. Whereas some of these other ones might be downplaying the negative so that you might go to their big bad toy store and buy it. And I get it, whatever. But Glenn always seemed like he was a lot more straight up about stuff like that. What's up, Cap? Happy birthday. All right, Scotty. Thank you. Next mail call comes out when you get these new Usos or the new AJ. Very nice. I got this new AJ. I mean, it's not that new now, but I found it for $10. So, I mean, Big Lots. Big Lots. Check your Big Lots if you want elites, because I've had some pretty good luck lately. Let's see. That new AJ looks so good. Is that the white attire one that I've been seeing like a picture pop up lately? Because if I do see that, I want to get that up too. Let's see. Character creation. Not a playable superstar. It's because KFC is a major sponsor. So imagine they did that in the Attitude Era. You'd have like a can of Castrol GTX motor oil as your friggin' creator wrestler. Because they had... It's amazing that during the Attitude Era, they had like the worst sponsors, but they had like the best ratings. Figure that out. Let's see. Are your backgrounds homemade? You mean like my dioramas, like that kind of thing? Yeah, that's as a result of watching like Al Figures on YouTube, because he's great at making stuff like that, and so it's something that inspired me to check that out and try and do some of my own. And with enough practice, you get pretty good at it. So now I got a couple different things I'm working on. I'm working on a little sci-fi environment, just a small one that I can put on a little shelf that I got in the next room. I'm just working on the detail stuff now. I'm going to paint it up and make it acceptable, presentable to my standards, and then I'll probably put a video out showing it, or I'll put it between the frames or something like that. I pre-ordered the... Where have I been? Logan, I've been busy, man. Sorry. I pre-ordered the Mezco Previews Deathstroke and the Brown Suit Wolverine. Mezco is killing it with their 112 line. I like the Deathstroke. I want to get that one. Is the Previews the one, the all black? Or is that the one... Am I thinking of the blue one? I don't know. I think it might just be the standard Deathstroke that I like, because he's got the alternate unmasked head and all that kind of stuff too. Plus, I like Deathstroke as a character. I was saying earlier, I pre-ordered for the Tiger Stripe Wolverine, so I can't wait when that comes in. But yeah, Mezco is great. I like a lot of what they're doing. It is, and yes, Big Lots, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls have cheap elites. Marshalls, huh? Alright, that's good to know. Gotta check that out. I admire your JWF, and I wish I could meet you in person. Well, thank you, Eddie. It's an interesting hobby that you just get into action figures and that kind of thing. And I've actually been able to meet a lot of people just through either going to like Comic Con or stuff like that. And so now it's cool in the sense that like I'm not necessarily being like, oh, that dude put up a new video, let me watch it. But it's more like, oh, my friend put up a new video, let me watch it. And it's just it's easy to network and stuff like that. It's the one good thing I will say about doing this kind of thing is like networking is a very real thing now, as far as like social media and YouTube and all that kind of thing. So it's easy to get in touch with people like that. Let's see. When is AJ Lee and CM Punk's wedding part? I gotta make one or two things for the actual video, but I can start shooting as soon as I have those made. So I want to do that. Like I said earlier, you might have not been in here for that, but I want to start hopefully doing some work on that tomorrow, because once I get those things made, it should be a pretty quick shoot. And then after that, I can finally finish the holiday special. Wondering if Mattel will just stop making the basics, considering they stripped almost all the articulation, specifically from the women figures. Was that picture I saw of, like, Natalia, like, did she have, like, one solid arm and that was it? Because that makes me think of, like, Titantron Live, like, Diva figures, where it was just, like, one solid piece for an arm and that's all you got. I mean, I'm hoping what that means is that they have a bigger budget for the elites, because especially with guys coming out like Kurt Angle with a lot of singlet detail and, I'm trying to think of anybody, like somebody like Enzo Amore or whatever, who's got like 1,000 colors and different patterns and things on his gear. They need a lot of budget for that. So hopefully they can supplement what they're not giving to the basic line anymore and just shoehorn it right into the elites. I'm honestly not that upset about it because I'm not a basics guy really, but it does suck if you're a basic collector. Yeah, and Burnout Inc. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I wish they would, if that meant more to the elites. Let's see. Old Man Logan or Dark Knight Returns? Scotty asks. They're both great. Honestly, Dark Knight Returns I like a lot, but I feel like it's aged. It's kind of showing its age a little bit because just Frank Miller can't help but be a lunatic, and he wants Batman to be the brooding, mean guy all the time. And there's, to me as a Batman fan, there's layers to Batman, and he's very one-dimensional in those comics. And I'm not even going to say anything about Dark Knight 2 because that was garbage, and I haven't read Dark Knight 3, but I did like Old Man Logan a lot because they made him so far removed from what you would expect from Wolverine. So, and then that makes the end pay off all that much better. Let's see. Yep, and no ab joint, huh? And those basics? That sucks. The budget cuts they've made have been pretty questionable for all these new series that I don't even think will sell great. I mean, here's hoping their risk-reward management is decent. My favorite episode of the old 616 Entertainment Podcast from Jazz James 616. It's tough to pick a favorite episode, but I just listened to the new, not the one that just went up like yesterday, but the one previously to that. I listened to that over the weekend, and that's great. I like a lot of the ones where it's just kind of like the two of them sitting there, like having a dialogue, because I don't know, that's cool. I like all the guests and stuff they get too, but sometimes it's cool to just listen to the two of them go back and forth and just discuss whatever happens to be going on, in the current minds of America and all that. Let's see. I recently had my Elite Shinsuke fall off a display and his ankle broke off. Is it wise to super glue a broken part back to the figure? If you don't mind that it's not going to have the articulation, I'd say that's fine. But I mean, I guess it depends on where the break was. I think that Fox should have the whole Marvel rights, because really what would Disney do with characters like Deadpool and Wolverine? I honestly don't mind that the rights are separate, because Wolverine, like you say, it's probably not going to be what you're really wanting it to be, especially with Deadpool. Like, people wanted to, a while back, people wanted to argue and be like, oh yeah, let's give everything back to Marvel Studios and Disney, because they know what they're doing, and then these X-Men movies are no good, and that Fantastic Four movie was garbage and everything else. But then Deadpool came out, and Deadpool was like the best superhero movie of all time, or made the most money of anything. You know, it was like, it's well regarded as awesome. And then Logan came out and did the same thing. And so now all of a sudden, people aren't saying that stuff so much anymore. Yes, you still had X-Men Apocalypse, and you still had some other ones that weren't great, but, you know, as standalone movies, just let Fox do their thing. You know, Fox knows what they're doing if they get a story and an actor who wants to really commit to that part. So you got Ryan Reynolds, who basically made that Deadpool movie happen. And then you got Hugh Jackman, who, you know, he wanted to do Wolverine one more time. And it's like, you know, I'm not going to do it unless it's going to be good. And that turned out to be great. So, I mean, I do have faith in them. They just, I don't know what they're going to do from here on, you know? How excited am I for Jeff and Matt Elite figures? I will get some. I want a broken Matt action figure. YXW. In Batman vs. Terminator, that scene where he launches from the Batmobile and the cape goes up and the batarangs go flying, that looks sick. Thank you. That's my favorite shot in the entire video. Like, that's all. I wish I had saved the raw footage of that so I could show exactly how it was done, but it's all done against a green screen, and because Batman, that's the Batman that has the cape with the wires, so you can, you know, flutter it out like that. And then I had the batarangs that I added in after the fact, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. I like that. Gotta go to bed. Love you and your videos, and happy birthday. Well, thank you, Viper. Thanks for stopping in. Have you seen the movie Her? And thoughts on AI human relationships? I haven't seen Her. I saw AI years ago, and that was something else. But AI human relationships, if you mean like human, like synthetic human type things, or is that like more like just a consciousness that lives in the house kind of thing that the guy is talking to? Because I know it's a voice. I don't know if it's like got a body too. I'm not sure. As far as AI human relationships, that's pretty much what we're dealing with right now. You can't go 5 feet without somebody buried in their phone, or, you know, sitting on a tablet, or whatever the case. I say that from the comfort of sitting in front of my computer talking to a bunch of people that would otherwise not even know who I am. So, you know, it has its pluses and minuses, I guess. Hawkeye's getting his Old Man comic spin-off, apparently. I guess it's a prequel to Old Man Logan. Spoilers. I'm watching the Fantastic Four movie right now. I'm curious what you think of that. Am I playing any games currently? Not currently. I downloaded the remastered Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, and I got most of the way through Arkham Asylum, but I would only play like whenever I had a little bit of time here and there. I am looking forward to this the Dragon Ball Fighter Z. That looks incredible if you like fighting games. Yeah, I can't wait to mess with that. Out there, what do I even have? I've got a couple games that I just haven't really gotten into yet. I'm waiting to hear news on a new Soul Calibur, but I have a feeling I'm going to be holding my breath on that for a while. Oh, it's an operating system. Okay, so basically it's a voice, but it's sentient. Alright. That's like it's like a Siri that knows everything instead of just like can answer Google questions. What was my favorite Elite series? 1 to 57? I don't know, because I mentioned at the top of this broadcast here that I don't know the numbers of a lot of the series that are coming out. Like, the only way I know who's in a set is if I see somebody I haven't seen before in a store, and I just look at the back of the box, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is the one with Mankind and Scott Hall. Now I know who to look for. But, let me think. Was it the set with Shawn Michaels and Brock Lesnar? It was like 19, I think, might have been. That was a good one, as I recall. I mean, I don't know. It's tough to even think back that far. Gotta run. Have a nice birthday. It's not my birthday. Have a good one. Thank you, Mac. Good to see you. I got that for cheap on Amazon. I'm really looking forward to Dragon Ball Z Fighters as well. Yeah, it looks awesome. Which I do have pre-ordered the Figure Arts Super Saiyan 3 Goku from Big Bad Toy Store. And they say it's for October, but I mean, that could mean by the end of the year. But I'm looking forward to that. Storm Collectibles Reptile I got coming from them. And Figure Arts Akuma, but that's not until like February. And I do have to still pre-order Shao Kahn. So I'm looking at a lot of money for Big Bad Toy Store between now and, let's say, February. You seen that Revoltech Magneto has an articulated cape? It's going to be a nightmare to pose. Yeah, I mean, the cape, I think the cape is going to be really hit or miss, but Revoltechs only look good when you have them in cool poses, like I said before. So, like, if I just took this Wolverine and, like, straightened him out and stood him up, he would look just kind of weird and awkward. But that Magneto, though, does look good. And unlike Wolverine, Marvel Legends hasn't made, like, a great Magneto figure, in my opinion. The Series 3 one from Toy Biz was okay, but that was, like, on an Iron Man body, so he's, like, giant. And again, I don't mind that, because on the old, like, 90s X-Men cartoon, he was always big and kind of bulky, but I don't know. Like, that one they did in the Jubilee wave, I didn't like that one at all. Yeah, so here's what I'm talking about. He looks okay in, like, a vanilla pose, but, and obviously, like, I didn't mess with all the joints, but yeah, this is meant to be posed and put into a cool stance. You know, he's not meant to just stand there. Jazz's favorite episodes are obviously the Nigel ones. Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to sound like I was biased. Happy B-Day, Cap. Hashtag bag of glass. I'm thrilled that people are noticing a bag of glass sign in the audience on JWF. Wait, did you say Soul Calibur? I love Soul Calibur. Alright, bye. Later. Yeah, Lizard Man. That's my man. I gave up on 2K17 a long time ago. I'm excited for 18. Sucker for games. The last one I bought was like 14. I think Mount Men has 17 and I never played it. The Revoltech Wolverine appear in any of your X-Men stop motions? Probably not in like Brotherhood, but I would like to do some kind of an animate. I would actually be curious to try out like the Burnout Ink method of reviewing where I put a little bit of an animation in there too. Just because the reason why I buy a lot of these figures is so I can animate with them, and then I just don't ever animate with them because they never really fit into any of the videos that I want to make. So I'm like, this will at least give me an excuse to put together like a few seconds of something, have Wolverine cut up a few ninjas, and then boom, go into the review. So I may try that at some point. Patent pending, as long as Burnout Ink signs off on that. How was Comic-Con? I didn't go this year, so it's just become a nightmare to try and get into the Javits Center and like try and get tickets ahead of time because you have such a short window to get passes and everything. Let's see. What if Storm also made Soul Calibur figures? I would absolutely buy a Lizard Man. Storm is like every fighting franchise. It seems like they're getting the rights. They got King of Fighters, they got Tekken, and obviously like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat. Like, so I wonder how far off it is before they get Soul Calibur. Honestly, I bought figures I wanted to review, but didn't because I couldn't figure out an animation for them. Yeah, see, my like justification for buying figures, I'm like, well, I don't really need it, but I could animate with it, and so I better get it. And then that's just an excuse for me to waste money, basically. I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks cool, but you know, I've basically relegated it to the fact that I just want to buy it to have, not necessarily to animate. Do you know how to order articulated icons, the new Ninja figures? I don't. Are there like new ones, as in like a new series coming out, or are they just re-releasing the old ones? I'm not sure, because I know those, like when you missed the deadline, like they started shooting up in price real quick. So I don't know, honestly. I do have my permission, but I have to wear gloves. Okay, I gotta come up with a pair of gloves then. But I'll definitely put that, and I'll put it on the bottom. I might even take a screen cap of this right now, as a matter of fact. Boom. Okay. So now I'll put that in the video so everybody watching doesn't leave me comments, be like, oh, you're ripping off Burnout Ink. I'm so happy because WWE is re-releasing the Motorcycle Undertaker. Yeah, that's cool. Are they going to give him a shirt too? Like the old one had that Dead Man Ink shirt, but do they plan on giving him a different shirt? Like maybe the Big Evil one? I don't know. I missed something. There was a Gundam in your Godzilla stop motion. I saw that and that was cool. Yeah, those are Moutman's Gundam figures. I was like, let's just have, you know, have them fight in these big robots. Why the hell not? That video was already ridiculous. What match is Sting versus Undertaker going to be? Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, or Inferno match? It might just be like a regular match, honestly. I don't have a Hell in a Cell. Extreme Rules, what's that, just weapons? Like, hardcore? I mean, somebody might sneak a chair in the ring, I don't know. An Inferno match, that'd be a pain to, like, composite a bunch of flames all over the ring constantly for an entire match. That guy with the oven mitts trying to... I do have sweet oven mitts out there. It's got bacon and eggs on it. But trying to review a figure with that might not work. I think he's just coming with a bandana and the undisputed title. Oh, okay, so he'll come with a belt. What do I think? Storm's Hulk Hogan? The NWO, the 7-inch one? I like it. I think it's a great figure. I know there's people that had an issue with, like, the floating crotch piece thing. Didn't bother me as much because I have the belt around it kind of higher up on his waist, so you don't notice it as much. But I mean, that figure really, I mean, it's great. I think that Storm should do more wrestling figures. You would have to find guys who own their own likeness rights, though. So it would basically be, you'd be limited to, like, I think Warrior maybe would be, like, a good choice for that, because I know his family basically owns the rights to his name, and they'll put his face on friggin' anything. So imagine all the Warrior figures you could get. Be sweet, you know? Current Undertaker or 1998 Undertaker? Well, 98 Undertaker is my all-time favorite, so yeah, that. You getting the new Undertaker Elite? It's from like '02 and it looks badass. I'll check it out. I mean, if I like it, I'll buy it. That's usually how I gauge my elites, like, unless it's somebody like Kurt Angle who looks awesome, like, right away. A lot of the times I'll wait and see the figures in person, and then I'll be like, yeah, let's do it. I like this one. Or I'll just like, nah, I'm not feeling it. I'll put it back. A shirt is coming with the Taker. Alright. How did you make that awesome custom-made action figure of you? There's actually a video on my channel where I explain it. It's like Custom Showcase, I think it's called. But, yeah, that shows that. What else am I missing? SmackDown vs. Raw series were my favorite WWE games. Not a fan of current ones. I have SmackDown vs. Raw 07? It's either 07 or 08. I think it's 07. I remember that one being pretty good. I think for PlayStation, like, my all-time favorite probably was Here Comes the Pain, I want to say it was. My all-time favorite might still be No Mercy on N64. Somebody just needs to, like, take that game and plug it in with, like, a 2K roster, you know? So that way you can have all the modern guys, but you can still go back and have all your classic, you know, or Attitude Era guys. Like, that would be an awesome game, and I would definitely put money into that. The Hobbit Legolas head and the Question DCUC body, right? Yeah, that's basically it. I think I took a coat from some Buffy figure. I don't know if it was Xander or whoever, but somebody with a long, like, 3/4 length coat. And that was really the only thing I changed from the Questions coat was a lot longer. And then, yeah, just that Legolas head where I had to, like, change the hair around. Sip of beer for the working man. Who's tried Stone Cold's Broken Skull IPA? Just as an aside, any of you over legal age people, I gotta know how that is. But what else do I got sitting around here? Well, nothing much new came through for me. I did have a couple things I was going to show in between the frames, but I'll save that for between the frames so people have an excuse to watch that too. But yeah, Ken, Wolverine have been good additions to my little figure collection here. Storm Collectibles, I'm thinking, is probably, if I make a top 10 figures of like 2017, I'm thinking 3 or 4 of them are going to be Storm Collectibles because they've just been killing it. Like, they're definitely my company of the year. I am very curious to see what they do. They showed that little teaser image of like the Chun-Li in the black dress. I want to see how that comes out. I'm probably getting that. I want my Street Fighters to be like Storms to be like slightly different than SH Figure Arts. So my goal is to get like Storms in the alternate colors, or in this case an alternate look. So I have regular Chun-Li on Figure Arts side, so I'll get the battle dress one in the Storm side. I don't know. It's just justifying spending more money, really. Ian's Shut Your Mouth video was excellent. I really want the WWE games to bring back the option to beat down my opponent after the match as a cutscene. Yeah, I did like that. You got the animations, whether you want to like be a face, or you just beat the guy up afterwards. Hopefully we'll make an old Big Show back in the Attitude Era. I'm surprised they haven't, honestly. Like a 2000 Big Show with like a ponytail and, you know, like a shirt and like kind of the shorts. I'm surprised we haven't. I mean, they made the Giant, I guess, which is similar enough, but actually no, because the Giant wore that one strap thing and Big Show really didn't. So, yeah, it's kind of surprising that they didn't. Like, give me like a WrestleMania 2000 main event Big Show from the Attitude Era, and that'll be cool. Because the only Big Show I have is the one from like the Michael Cole series, I think it is, with like the camo top and the hat, and it's a good figure. It's just not representative of that time frame. I got a pop, but I'm glad you finally get your own AARP card. Thank you, Wadfigs, and thanks for, you know, the inspiration here for getting back involved in streaming. I'd like to do it a little more often, so you'll be seeing more hopefully. Let's see. Nothing like an ice cold beer to go along with the live chat, just chilling. It's a little sweet, but good. I'm taking it you mean the Austin IPA. Okay. I don't mind sweet. What do you think of the new Defining Moments Jericho, and we'll use it for stop motion? Yeah, I like the way that figure looks a lot. I actually want to get, I know it's kind of critically panned, but I want to get the light blue one, the ringside one too. I would switch the head, obviously. The highlight reel attire, though. I do like the gear. The figure itself is nice. It's just the head. So I would switch that out. But, you know, I've been meaning to get it. Actually, as a matter of fact, while we're talking about Jericho, I will get back to the BuyYXW. I got these decals from Curb Stomp City or something like that. For, I don't know if you can focus in on that, but these are tattoos for a modern Jericho. I gotta figure out how to apply these to the figure, because I think it's just like a thin layer and you get it, it's basically like a temporary tattoo where you put it like water on the back and you press it onto the thing. Not 100% sure, so I gotta look up how to do that, but I'm thinking these will make the modern Jericho pop, so I don't know, something to do, make them look a little bit cooler. Thoughts on What Culture? I like it, but I mean, it's like anything else. If you're watching a channel like that, you're basically just being told the opinion of the guy who's giving the narrative, you know. So if you don't agree with their opinion, you're probably not going to like their channel. I'm a little more open-minded, so like even if I don't agree with them, I try and be like, I could see why he would think that or something. I know they lost a couple of their staff, so I mean, as long as Simon is still on the wrestling channel, I'm cool with that. And I do like Jules and Ben on the main channel, so like I'm not necessarily brokenhearted over any of this. I mean, I don't know, I'll check it out. Let's see. And happy birthday. Thank you, YXW. You probably left already, but thank you. How's monetizing stop motion on YouTube? Have I been affected by demonetization? Survivor Series 99 Big Show with a casket tied to a chain with his dead dad in it. Yep, make it a battle pack with Boss Man. You're all set. Monetizing stop motion on YouTube is, I mean, I haven't had any issues with that up until recently, when all these issues have kind of started becoming, you know, across the board for everybody. I have lost some of my videos, like, not my videos, but I've lost monetization on some of the videos, because it's like, suddenly, this stuff is not user-friendly, and I'm guessing it's only a matter of time before that happens to more, because some of the ones, like, for example, the Daniel Bryan and Bret Hart, the last JWF thing, it was like, yeah, not suitable for all advertisers. I'm like, well, that's a wrestling video, and I've got like 10 other wrestling videos on my channel that haven't been flagged. Some of them have, and some of them, you know, I dealt with, but it sucks. You know, it's like, right, okay, well, this was fine a month ago. Why is it not anymore? And that's YouTube just kind of being shitty. Survivor Series, okay. Am I getting WWE 2K18? No, we talked about that a little before, but nah, I'm probably not going to, just because of free time. I don't understand why we didn't get an Elite Booker T with the short dreads. Yeah, they had the head for it. I don't actually. Has anybody done a swap with the short dreads head onto the, let's say, like the Elite 14 body or whatever it was with the white trunks? That's the only Booker T I have, is the Elite with the white. I know they did a gold one too, the Target series, and it looks cool, but I just preferred the look of the white one, so I just kept that one. Jonathan Young, thanks for answering your stop motion. Well, thank you for watching. I appreciate that. BJ Palm, Cap is back. Glad to see you again. Hey, happy to be here for, I hope, well, not too much longer. It's 11:30 where I am. That's what happens when I got a late start on streaming. Let's see. How long does it take me to make a full pay-per-view? Well, it depends on how much effort I'm putting into it and how often I get to work on it. So I'll admit, like, the holiday show is taking me a lot longer just because I don't find myself with a lot of free time to do it. And then some days when I do have free time, I spend it doing other things. So, you know, that's really kind of hit and miss. I don't know. Like, one night only would be kind of the fastest I would have ever put a show out like that. And that was, like, I put out 4 parts, and it took about a month to make each part. And that wound up being like a 25-minute show or something like that. I couldn't remember exactly. Let's see. Did I see Raw this week? Yeah, I think I turned it on like 15 minutes after it was already started, but yeah, I checked it out. I'm trying to think of what happened besides the Shield coming together and Enzo Amore losing his title to that guy, which I'm fine with. Enzo Amore just kind of annoys me. Let's see. I need to get that short dreads Booker T head. I did want to swap it on. Yeah, I'd be curious how that looks, especially because at that time, like around the invasion, he wore white anyway, so it wouldn't be like a huge stretch from how he actually looked. I think maybe the arms would have to get swapped too, because at the time he had like finger gloves and not like the white wrap things on his arm. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it'd be worth checking out for sure. Let's see if I missed anything. Moving up. Defining moments, yeah. That Jericho, I can't wait. I would like to probably get a couple bit more Jerichos like that, just so I could pop the heads on the different figures. Been dealing with that same thing. Hindsight, I probably would not have taken this job if I knew it was going to do this to my free time. But then YouTube broke itself, so what can you do? Yeah, I mean, it sucks. I mean, there was a lot of talk at one point about things like, and matter of fact, this is recently, I mean, I can't go into too much detail with it, but it's like a kind of a recent thing where people are like, oh, you know, well, exposure is big. You know, people can see your channel if we share your links out and doing this and that. And then I'm thinking like, right, but exposure doesn't mean anything in lieu of payment anymore. You know, it's one thing if somebody wants to pay me to do something, I'm like, yeah, sure, okay. But if somebody's like, well, we can pay you in exposure, and first of all, that's always nonsense anyway. But second, you're basically exposing a bunch of videos to an audience that's going to basically watch them and not give me any ad revenue. So what are you really doing for me? You know, I'm just getting seen, but I'm not making any fractions of a penny off of being seen. And so that's why there's a lot of red flags going up on, you know, like associates that I would have on YouTube, like trying to, you know, if it's people I'm going to work with or not. So you just, it's things to think about, you know. It's a lot of careful consideration has to be put in. Now, regardless, as far as my channel goes, I'm going to continue doing my videos and keep making the stuff I'm making just because it's a hobby for me and it's something that I like doing. So I'm not going to like just stop and be like, what was the point? I'm not going to get monetized, because I was doing this before I even knew I could be monetized. So, you know, it's just, it's shitty for people who made money off of something like that, you know? Since the Hardy Boys are back, I think that we should make an Elite 3-pack with Lita. Like one of those then, now, forever type things that they do at Walmart. I can see that. Yeah. Just repaint the Lita they already got, put 2 new Hardy Boys in there, and yeah, you're off and running. It's not a bad set. Okay, I like it. What do I think of Neville leaving WWE? I'm guessing he had his reasons. I don't know anything about why he wanted to go, or honestly, like, I haven't watched Raw in forever up until this past week, so I don't know if they just weren't using him or if it was like something must have happened that he didn't like. So I mean, again, it goes back to like what I was talking about with CM Punk before. You know, it's like if he's unhappy, then he should leave, and you know, people on the internet should probably leave him alone and let him make his decision and not be like, oh, you know, you sold out and this and that. It's like, well, no, just let him go do something else that makes him happy. That's I don't know. So I really don't know the whole story behind that. Let's see. I'm back. Sorry, I was checking Ringside Collectibles. Anything good on there? El Jaracalo Studios. Well, thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. The birthday wish. Yeah, I haven't been on ringside in a while. I actually saw. Was it them that posted their video of that Jericho that's coming out? The God, why can't I think of it? The undisputed one. Yeah, it must have been them because they would want people to come to their site and buy it. But yeah, that's one that's definitely on my radar. There's a basic Rhino coming out too. I don't know if it's in a battle pack or what, but he looked good. He actually looked better than any of the elite Rhinos we got. But now I know it's going to be lacking some of the articulation. And again, I'm not a huge basic collector, but I'm like, shit, I want to at least be able to do something with it. So, I don't know. I'll probably wind up passing on it then, unfortunately. Neville said that he wants to leave and build himself up like Drew McIntyre did. And he also got his screwed on the WrestleMania DVD because they left his match off so he gets 0. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I would be like mad about that too. It was, actually, it was, with Burnout Inc. on Twitter. I think I said something about Cody Rhodes where like he did nothing for me in WWE. Like I could watch him and be like, yeah, he's fine, I guess, whatever. And then Stardust, I'm like, I don't care about this either. This is just him trying to cash in on Goldust and that being related and all that. And yeah, it was different, but it was still like, I just don't care. But then anything I've seen of Cody from like New Japan, I'm like, okay, he's got my attention. He's doing something that it seems like he cares about. And to that effect, I like care about it more now because I can see that he's in it, like he really cares about it. I'm like, okay, now he's awesome. What the hell? Like they should have just let him do this from the start. Like he obviously wants to be, putting creative effort into what he's doing, and they just probably wouldn't let him because WWE, and they're like, nah, well, we're just not gonna. We'll write your promos for you. You just go out there and say this here. So yeah, I guess if Neville wants to go do something like that, where he is able to be more of the wrestler that he wants to be in terms of like his own character, then great, yeah, go do it. I have a 2002 Young Samoa Joe. Is that a TNA figure? I might have the same one actually. It's I got a black and white one with the gear, like it says Joeism on the arm and everything. Don't know why WWE has not made Perry Saturn yet. Like a Legends, or not Legends, but like a flashback figure. I don't know how high Saturn is on their list. Like out of the Radicals, he was the one that did probably the least. Oh, that arguably Malenko did less, but yeah. So I mean, I don't know. They've already got Malenko, Eddie Guerrero. Obviously, they've made a few figures. They're not touching Benoit, so Saturn's really the only one conceivably that they could make. I mean, there'd have to be a pretty good market for that. I'd almost rather see them do Raven first, but that again, that's probably somebody that they might not have much interest in making. So, I don't know. Flashback Saturn with Moppy. Yeah, that would be the instant pack-in. Let's see, yes. Elite 55, Big Evil Undertaker, Undisputed Championship. As Vest said, Big Evil, Pain Syndicate. Okay. Alright, that's not bad. I'll probably get that then. I think I still have that motorcycle I had from... Yeah, I don't even remember where it came from. I think it came with a Titantron Live Undertaker figure in like one of those big box sets that you can get with like a ring and a couple different figures. But, yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else I want to touch on in the next few minutes before I got to call it a night here. If I had to pick a dream elite WWE figure for them to make, in reason, like, I mean, I know the legality means they can't make Owen Hart because that's not what his family wants. They're not touching Jeff Jarrett. They're not touching Scott Steiner. So we're never going to get those late 2000s WCW figures of them. But figures that I would be interested in them doing, I want to say like a Mark Henry from '98, so you could fill out your nation. Now that they've done Shamrock, I want to see a blue version with the Intercontinental title. I was trying to think of who else. Kurt Angle, I want to see like a bald Kurt Angle. I know they'll get around to that, but yeah, like something like in the mid 2000s Kurt Angle as opposed to like the year 2000 or '99 or whatever his Survivor Series debut one was. Survivor Series 96, Bret Hart. That was kind of a unique attire. Um, yeah, just brainstorming, really. It's just some flashbacks I want to see. My current dream WWE Elite figure. Okay, well, good timing. You're fat! What do I think of Adam West's death? Yeah, it was sad. I mean, it's not... I guess it wasn't a huge shock. I mean, he was not a young man, but it's still, you know, he did... he was in a lot of things that a lot of people knew very well, so everybody heard of him. You know, it wasn't like an actor that was in one thing, you know, so... And he was in a lot of very popular stuff, too. It wasn't even just, like, a few things here and there. So, yeah, he'll be missed. Current Dream Elite is the Flashback Kane. So, like, Elite 12. I have TNA Kurt Angle. I had one of them, I think, but I didn't like the body on it. I used the head on a custom that I never finished, and now will probably not need to because I've got, you know, they're making their own now. Flashback WCW Glacier or Mortis with Canyon variant for me. Yeah, there's a lot of WCW guys that they could make. Oh, give me Lance Storm in a red and white with a Canadian flag. I'll take that. Thank you. Taz, if they can make Taz. Matter of fact, I was saying when I was talking about D'Lo on Between the Frames, like you could use D'Lo's entire upper body, basically everything except the legs. You could use that body and just make a Taz like flashback. So, I mean, something to think about, Mattel. What do I prefer Old Man Logan figure the most? Hasbro's or Mezco's? Mezco's looked great, and my roommate's got it pre-ordered, so, I mean, I'm sure once I see it in person, I'm going to be like, alright, that's the move right there. They're kind of two different versions of Old Man Logan. Like, the Mezco's is, like, from the original comics, like, when that story was taking place, and Hasbro's is, like, on how he is now, because he's been integrated kind of into the regular Marvel universe, and so he looks like he's just basically wearing different things, but I do like them both. I think the head needs a little bit of paint work on the Hasbro one, because it's just like one solid color for his hair. They could have shaded it a little bit better, in my opinion. But it's not a bad figure at all. As a matter of fact, I really like it. WCW, Defining Moments Goldberg with US and World title. Yeah, that would be cool. I would definitely... Yeah, Goldberg, as a matter of fact, is pretty much a shoo-in. He's going to get more figures. I would actually kind of like Goldberg in his gear that he wore when he first came to WWE, like the half black, half white trunks thing that he was wearing. I thought that was cool. I just missed something. Should WWE make Elite Sabu or Tommy Dreamer or a new RVD? RVD is one of those guys I'm surprised that they didn't make more of when they had him on, like when he was back in WWE a few years ago. Because he's a guy who came out wearing different stuff every week, and he had a lot of cool designs. So, like, I know they made a lot of basic figures of that, and they were able to get some of his singlet designs on that, but, like, I'm surprised there weren't more Elites with, like, some of his more elaborate-looking singlets. Let's see. What do I think of the Ken Shamrock fig? Check out the next Between the Frames. I got a few things to say about it. Mezco should make a Psylocke figure. Yeah, I'm sure that would be treated very tastefully among some of those action figure collectors that you see on Instagram posting crazy, creepy shit. A Mezco Storm, though, that would be tight. Give her a cape. Give her, like, some lightning effects and stuff. With that stand with the thing that would, like, let you get clips onto her cape, and so it would look like she's, like, floating up above. Oh, fucking get on my shelf. But, yeah. Well, I think I'm going to call it a night here. 11:45. We've gone about 2 hours. Getting back into the feel of this whole streaming thing. Yeah, it was cool to see that people came out, and hopefully everybody enjoyed spending some time. I'm going to shut this off, and then YouTube's going to tell me that this is not advertiser friendly, and I'm not going to make any money. But you know what? That's fine. I don't need to make money on a stream. I just like doing it to hang out. Just chop it up and talk with people a little bit. And so, to those of you still in here, thank you for coming. To those of you who were in here earlier tonight and are maybe coming back to watch the rest of it, thank you. And we will... next time I'm going to be a little bit smarter about scheduling this and let people know ahead of time when it's coming, so that way they can watch it. You know, they can plan if they want to watch it or not. They'd be like, okay, well, I can go do this now. So Mexico Soy Storm would be excellent. Yeah, let's make this happen. Good night. Good night, Burnout Inc. We'll see you. Logan, thank you. Peace. KK. Good to see you all. Have a lovely weekend. Between the Frames coming soon.